Hey guys, this is Mark Yo here again and welcome back to my channel. Thanks to all of you guys, my channel has exceeded 1000 subscribers last Sunday. I really appreciate all of your support and I hope to bring more review on my new phones more often, which I really like to do. So sorry for the delay on my new video as I had to attend to some family matters for the past few days. So I've been using the Xiaomi Mi 10T Pro for the past 2 weeks. These are solely my opinions. But first, let's talk about the pros. The first one is that I really love the design. So as you can see here, for this phone, it has a flat screen to avoid accidental touch. And you have this 144Hz of refresh rate, which is no joke when scrolling through home screen or apps. Okay, just when you scroll to the left for Google News, sometimes it feels a bit choppy. It can be a bit choppy. But other than that, you are good. So as you can see here, there's actually a very small punch hole camera at the display. Yes, I know that some of you guys are concerned about the ghosting situation at the display. And yes, I do notice that when you have a screen background which is set to white, you might be able to see slight and very tiny shadowing at the selfie camera. Okay, and also as well as the edge of the screen. Seriously, you really need to squeeze your eyes and look very hard. So to me, it doesn't bother me at all. And if you don't like seeing the tiny ghosting, okay, so-called ghosting, you just set your screen to dark mode. Problem solved. Okay. And the second one, still talking about the screen, it has a gorgeous 6.67 inch of 1080p Full HD Plus IPS LCD panel. I can honestly say that it's one of the best LCD in the market now. And Xiaomi actually claimed that it's even better than iPhone 11 LCD panel. Okay, to me, I think it's good enough, but I don't have a iPhone 11 mini right now to compare. But to me, it's really good to the eye. And watching videos and gaming is actually immersive. So compared to my other Samsung phones, which has AMOLED screen, I won't even realize that this is not a LCD screen if you don't tell me. And sunlight visibility is actually good. Just that you need to bump the screen brightness, okay, to around 80 to 90% if you need to see clearer under the sun. So that's my advice. And the third one is actually the phone is actually curved at the back. Okay, it's actually curved and flat on the top and the bottom. Okay, aluminum frame at the three sides. At the sides, 3 layers of Corning Gorilla Glass, 5 front and back, and also at the camera cover for better protection. So the weight is actually at 218 gram. Okay, it's a bit heavy, but fortunately the weight distribution is even. So holding this phone is actually quite comfortable. And the next one is that this phone actually has the Snapdragon 865 processor, which is coupled with 8GB of RAM and 256 of internal storage. So this phone actually flies through any task that you throw at it. It's lag-free experience with this phone, and only with mild heat is produced after gaming for hours. So because thanks to its liquid cooling tag in the phone, so you have this minimal frame drops which is negligible, and 60 fps on R-Sport 9, and you can actually have extreme settings on PUBG, which is totally not a problem. Let me on the PUBG game. So if you look at graphics, you can actually set to Ultra HD, and you can actually see the water reflections, okay, which is actually quite awesome. Let me adjust my tripod. So you can see here, it's actually very smooth. No, no lag at all. Immersive experience. And you have this dual speaker setting on this phone at the top here and at the bottom here. So I actually did a speaker test last few days last week, so you guys can check it out. I'll put the link in the description below. And with this dual speaker setup, it will give you immersive experience while watching content. Totally not a problem. So the speakers are actually not the best speakers out there, but are enough to be in my top 10 list. So the next one is actually, this phone actually has a 5000 mAh battery, and honestly I can get 8 hours of screen on time on with internet data only, okay, with 2 full days of use, of course without gaming. I mean, if you do calling, social medias, WhatsApp, scrolling, whatever things that you throw at it without gaming, you can actually last it for 2 days. And if you game for an hour, it will drain around 13 to 14% per hour, which I think is impressive. And if you leave it overnight, 8 hours with data on, battery will drop around 3%. But fret not, you have this 33 watt of fast wired charging, which can fully charge the phone from 1% to 100% around 72 minutes. So this is actually a bit different from what was advertised in Xiaomi website, which they claim they can actually charge from 0 to 100 in 59 minutes. So my experience is it takes 72 minutes. So you can check out my previous charging test video on my Mi 10T Pro. So I'll put the link in the description also. And the next one actually is the camera. So it has a triple camera setup, which you can actually zoom digitally up to 3 times. It's useful, okay. And daytime photography with 108 megapixel main camera and 30 megapixel of ultra wide camera is actually standard. Nothing to shout about. The one that I really impressed is actually the 5 megapixel macro camera, which you can shoot as near as 2 centimeters. So very useful if you like to shoot clear shot of flowers and plants. It can even shoot macro video, which is impressive. And OIS, optical image stabilization, is available, but only enable for 1080p at 30 frames per second. You can take 8K video, 4K video at 60 frames per second, but without OIS. Let me show you a photo. So this is actually a photo which I took last few days of a 100 ringgit bill. So as you can see here, you can see it very clearly, okay. You can even see that there's a wording, alphabetical, the name of our previous Prime Minister. So this is actually a very impressive shot. And the next one would be the side mounted fingerprint, okay. No on-screen fingerprint sensor, but you have side mounted fingerprint, which is actually very fast and accurate. I'm impressed. And enough for the pros. let's talk about the cons. So the first one is actually GPS signal is actually pretty weird in this phone. Okay, why I say that it's pretty weird? Of course, it has dual GPS here. It locks quite fast. But let's say if you're on Waze now, okay, driving, and you switch to another app, for example, Facebook. After you switch back to Waze, GPS most of the time will be lost, okay, and you will have to close the Waze app and restart the app, which is kind of annoying. And the second one that I actually, it might be bummer to some people, but to me it doesn't concern me, okay, which is it doesn't have wireless charging. And the third one is that I actually use WhatsApp, okay, and sometimes when I use voice message, I send voice message, the receiver will complain that it's actually soft and tiny, okay, and they will have to bump up the volume to actually hear it. So I think this is a bug. I hope that Xiaomi will fix this bug. And on YouTube, okay, let me on YouTube video. Okay, so when you play 4K HDR video, it will turn a bit yellowish. I'm not so sure whether you can see it in the camera, but this actually never happened before. So I think this is a bug also. I hope that Xiaomi would actually fix this bug. Okay, and the last one is actually the lack of 3.5mm headphone jack. Alright, I know that this is actually a 2020 thing, but I really wish that the manufacturers can actually leave this function alone. I mean, yeah, and not take away from it. But well, at least Xiaomi is still providing the dongle, okay, not like Samsung and Apple. Okay, and of course we still have free charging brick, if you know what I mean, not like the latest iPhone 12. So what do you guys think? You can come share your comments. And any of you guys actually using this phone? To me, it's a super value money for just Ringgit Malaysia, 1,999, which is less than USD 500. It is the best Xiaomi can offer right now, yet. So thanks for watching guys, and take care and stay safe. Peace.